Thank you for joining us here on the air. We do have a few tornado warnings in effect, so we're going to go ahead and be on the air for about 30 more minutes or so, maybe even an hour. So again, we're just going to do some storm team coverage here of the tornadoes warnings that we have right now. So as you saw on the beginning of the thumbnail of the live stream, today's threat is pretty low. We do have a slight risk for severe weather, and that's where we have that tornado warning happening right now. But you see, we have a tornado warning down here off to the south of that storm, and that's producing a tornado warning down here in a marginal risk, which is pretty rare. But looking here at our tornado threat, that area isn't even in. They are in some sort of tornado threat. It's a 2% tornado threat, so they are. In some sort of threat, but pretty right now. That area there in that 2% down off to the south, pretty low in threat for today. The main threat will be just north of that. And here's the new severe thunderstorm warning coming in just ahead of that tornado warning. It's a pretty but let's go here to our tornado warnings. We're not going to focus too much on the severe thunderstorm warnings. We're just going to focus here on our tornado warning. So this tornado warning is in effect here for about 6 more minutes or so, and then that warning should be set to expire. So here's our live lightning. Here's our live lightning and radar component. You see we do have that lightning, a lot of lightning with these storms as well. I'm just going to make those smaller. Taking out all the screen. Alright, should be fine. Alright, so let's see what they're looking at here when they call a tornado couplet. I'm going to show up there in just 1 second. Yeah, I don't really see too much rotation. I mean, I see rotation, but I don't really think it's that concerning. I'd see rotation somewhere in this vicinity. Definitely in that vicinity. I don't really know where in that vicinity. I think it's too cluttered to really tell, but somewhere in that vicinity, we do have some possible rotation that has prompted even a tornado warning to be issued. Alright, so again, thank you for joining us here on the air. Storming Ford, our meteorologist, joining you live here from our weather center. We're just tracking some of these live thunderstorms and tornado warnings that are on the board right now. Let's just go ahead, clear off that drawing, and we'll just cycle through these warnings. So let me clear that off here. Move this top. There's a new tornado warning. This is a new tornado warning. Okay. So we now have 2 tornado warnings off to the south. So I think we're going to keep an eye on these because these are prompting 2 tornado warnings. You see that warning blinking very fast to indicate that a new tornado warning has been issued. It's blinking white pretty fastly. So again, that's just going to grab our attention and alert us that a new tornado warning has been issued. So let's go in there. It's more tighter. I'll put this back here to reflectivity. Again, here's our reflectivity mode. This is what they're prompting. They're calling this a radar indicated tornado warning that expires in 34 minutes. Again, that warning blinking on your screen is a new tornado warning that has been issued for Highland, Troy, pretty populated areas. So let's go ahead and get you the details on that. That warning will blink for just a few more minutes. Radar indicated rotation near Highland moving east at 20 miles per hour. So again, that warning blinking there on your screen to grab your attention, letting you know that if you were in Severance, Leona, Highland, Troy, you've been beginning in that lowest floor, that sturdy building, as you guys are now all under this tornado warning. Let's go. I think we're gonna have to go to storm relative velocity. They're the same thing practically, but yeah. There's the rotation they're calling this. There's the rotation they're calling it right there, just over Leona right now. They're saying that rotation to the east of Leona. I think it'd be just to the south of Leona right now. Again, moving off to the east there at 20 miles per hour. So we'll do a storm track on that for you. Again, that's moving off to the east there at 20 miles per hour. So we'll do that from about, we'll do it from pretty far, just to get you the city names in there, more city names. so moving off to the east there around 20 mile an hour, so pretty slowly. Alright, so we'll get that there to 20. Alright, so this will get it there into Highland at 9:59. Severance, 10:01. Hang on. Troy at 10:26, and then if it holds together, again, these are all going to be in your local time zones. Yeah, these are going to be, so it should be crossing into Highland within the next few minutes. That should be right now over Highland. I think, to be honest, I think Highland, you should be taking the blame for this. I think basically the south side of Highland might get some damage, but I think the main threat is just south of you guys. So again, Highland at 9:59, Severance at 10:01, Troy 10:26, Wathena at 10:48. So let's clear that off. I'll disable the Swarm Track feature. And what we'll do here is we'll go in there extremely tighter so we can get more city names. Again, I mean very tight. Gonna go in there very tightly. So the rotation right now, that's that green and those red sort of mixing together there on your screen. It's going to be off to the east of Leona. Leona, you guys have already taken the blame for this. Severance, Maury, Sparks, all getting into that tornado safe place. You guys are all included in this tornado warning. It's not confirmed. It's just a radar indicated tornado warning. That means a tornado is possibly forming. And there is weak rotation, still there rotation, but pretty weak rotation, to be honest. It's not anything broad. Potentially deadly that we're looking at, just sort of damage. It's not going to be deadly. It's going to be the damage type, not the deadly type. So again, that's some good news. I'm going to keep an eye on this storm. Of course, I don't want to focus on the same storm for too long. But here's looking at the storm here off to. All right, that's that warning. That tornado warning there, right there, has expired. So just let that clear off the map in a few minutes. So we'll go there extremely more tighter here. Let me zoom this out. We'll go in there extremely more tighter. Again, on this new tornado warning, this will be expired there in about 30 minutes or so. And that includes Troy and Highland. Let's look at a tornado warning up here to the north. I haven't really looked and keep an eye out. I'm just keeping an eye on several different storms. Of course, our main area, by the way, is the Evansville Tri-State area. That's our region we cover, but of course, I don't cover one area. I cover the United States mostly. But again, that rotation right there, I'll show you where that rotation is. It should be right now, getting ready to cross right there. It should be, oh, that's pretty bad. It should be right there. That's where our rotation is. That's where I'm watching the main rotation for that. Excuse me. Alright, so there's our rotation right there. It's just dotted there to grab your attention that there is our rotation. Alright. And there's that new CV Thunderstorm warning that was issued right in front of that rotation. Alright, we're gonna, it looks like they canceled the tornado warning. So that's some good news. They went ahead and canceled that tornado warning. That rotation not really concerning anymore, to be honest. Alright, so now we're just down to one tornado warning. So I think the stream should be ending here in about 30 more minutes or so. Yeah, we're weak. We're saying like very, very weak rotation. You know what we're gonna do, y'all? We're gonna, of course, when we look at a radar, we're not looking at right now we're looking at the winds on the surface. We're not looking at the atmosphere. But what we can do is we can go higher into the atmosphere, see that rotation higher in the atmosphere, and you see really that rotation pretty much could be radar clutter. Radar clutter is just a false return the radar picks up, and the higher we go, sort of the better scans we get in the atmosphere. So this radar site might not even go up that high, but you know what we can do. There we go. Yeah, so here's the rotation that's high here. There's no confirmed tornado. That's my bad. Here's the, I can't use that arrow key. Here's the rotation here about on the surface, pretty more above the surface, but not on the surface. And then we go up higher into the atmosphere. This is the third elevation the radar can do, and you see pretty weak rotation. It's still having those gray, it's in those reds mixing in together. And then we look out here, the higher elevation, and then we go to the highest elevation. which is a 3.1. And you see the rotation pretty off to the south of Highland still. But again, I think most of this should be just the damage type. If we are seeing a tornado, it should just be the damage type, not looking at any deadly type of tornado. So let's go here to velocity. Look at our velocity signature. This is the velocity couplet, and you see a pretty weak couplet. Again, not anything concerning. What we look for with this is we still look for those reds and those greens, but we're seeing some of the peachy colors and some of the red colors. The peachy colors are a little bit more than the red colors, but the main thing when we look for tornadoes is the reds and the greens. We don't look for peach and we don't look for peach and dark reds. We don't want to look for that. We look for the reds and the greens mixing together. So reds toward the radar, reds away from the radar. I don't know which way it goes. Okay. We'll stick with this warning here. Again, the rotation pretty weak, to be honest. I don't really know what we're doing here, but let's go back here to reflectivity. I'll zoom this out, show you what the full picture is. Look at the lightning component. I've turned on the lightning today. Just wanted to make the map a little bit more better looking. And you see these storms are very energetic. That means they have too much energy, as I will call it, to depend with, because they have so much lightning. When storms have lightning, that means they're strengthening, or they're starting to strengthen, or they're strong. So lightning is not what we want in a tornado warning. So let's go in there extremely tighter. We're going to go in there extremely more tighter than on this new tornado warning, or fairly old tornado warning, but it's been around for about 30 minutes or so. Hopefully the live stream's working okay. Don't really know. I'm going to zoom out, show you the air quality alert. It's basically for parts of the whole state of Indiana right now. It's under a sort of air quality alert. What that is just bad air, to be honest, really. But yeah, actually not anymore. It looks like they went ahead and chopped off some counties, most of the counties in that air quality alert. But here in the tri-state, we still have some of our Indiana counties: Gibson County, Vanderburgh County, Posey County, Warwick County, Spencer County, Perry County, Du Bois County. So you guys are still included in that. You guys are still included in that. You guys are still included in that air quality alert. Again, nothing really to do. You can't really do anything about that, but let's just take it easy. If you're sensitive to air like that, or high changes in air. I feel like the couplet pretty honestly weakened now. I think it might just be lifting now. If it was on the ground, I think it'd be lifting by now, to be honest. We're gonna clean up some of this. I think that's genuinely just nothing. Let's go here to storm relative velocity. I want to show you the storm relative velocity. This is sort of a weaker. It shows basically less sensitive velocity. We're gonna go higher into the elevation again. Yeah, pretty weak, to be honest. If it's not anything, it's something. I mean, it's not really nothing, but if anyone's wondering why these warnings are different, why this one has fill, why this one doesn't, is because this one is sort of the more grab your attention because its damage are considerable. Here's the new severe thunderstorm warning. Off to the north of that storm. We're going to put that here to reflectivity mode. So here's this new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to include pretty much. I'm not going to get the same names pop up. This is gonna just be off to Millerdale Colony, off to the west of you guys. Again, not gonna be an impact. I think the main concern with that is the hail. You see, we have that hail core there within that storm. That's where we have the white colors there. let's go to hail. I'm gonna look at hail component. Yeah, there's your hail core right there. Again, off to the west there, Millersdale Colony. Millersdale Colony, you guys get Marble to pea-sized hail, but other than that, pretty weak hail near you guys. But the main concern is that hail core sort of where we get into the white color. That's the main concern with hail. That's always the main concern with hail is when we get some of those wider colors, and that's how the radar detects hail. So yeah. Again, there's that news again this morning on your screen. I think we're going to end here in about 15 more minutes or so. I was not planning on being live for forever. I might just be ending here in about 2 more minutes or so. 5. Let's see. I'm not going to show the map because it's going to be copyright issues, but there is a chance, or there is a G3, the G3 swarm predicted Aurora Northern Lights, or geomagnetic storm that's going to hit parts of the United States. I'm going to get a map pulled up, actually. I'll get that from NOAA. I'll load it into the computer. Whoa. Give me just 1 second here. I don't want to leak anything. Why won't it pop up? Okay, I'll just grab this over here then. Okay. everyone have a great rest of your Thursday. I'll see you here again in the next few days. I'll go ahead and show you the next SBC I look for tomorrow. Before we go, I want to show you the next SBC I look for tomorrow. So move that out of the way. Here's tomorrow's day 2 outlook. We have the same threat in the same area that we're looking at right now. That's going to be actually in parts of Canada, I think. If this stupid map will load. No, that's not Canada because that cut off there. Alright, so again, pretty low in threat today. Same threat as tomorrow. We should be live tomorrow. I'll schedule that live stream. Have the thumbnail ready by tomorrow morning. And I'll have that ready for you to go. And then I'll schedule that time. So again, I really appreciate y'all for joining. It really means the world to be. But before we go, let's take a look at our tornado threat for tomorrow. Pretty low end threat. I don't even know what it is, to be honest. But I'm sure it's pretty low end because we have a level 2. It's extremely low. It's not extremely low, but it's pretty low. That's low. Oh my god, yo. Alright, I'll show you that tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your Thursday night. Subscribe and stay tuned to Starbeam 41 for continuous Starbeam coverage. And we'll be right back here tomorrow with the same coverage like today, but maybe even a little bit better. We'll see. Thank you for joining us and have a great rest of your Thursday night. Subscribe and like for more content. Thank you for joining us and have a great rest of your Thursday.